Welcome back to my channel. This is Akilah James again, coming to you with another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about Q&A as well as a little bit of the Miami Open. Let's just dibble dabble, not too much. I want to first again thank you guys for coming back to my channel, coming on this journey with me. With that being said, I get a lot of comments and I get a lot of feedback. I'm very grateful, so I want to address these comments because I think they're all in the same bracket. So Q&A. I'll be using my cell phone, as you know, because I do not know the questions by heart. First question is this: for tournaments, when you are traveling without a coach, what time do you practice? How many hours a day can you practice? And do they pair you with someone if you do not have anyone to practice? Also, can you arrive 2 days before your match starts? Do the tournaments allow this and you just ask beforehand to still play the discounted tournament hotel rate? And if you do arrive early, can the concierge usually give you a tip on a club player or someone who's available around your level to play that tournament? Do some tournaments let you hit as much as you want and pair you up with someone as long as there's a court availability? And how many hours can you play within the lines of availability? That's a very good question, very loaded question again. I just want to start off by saying all of these different tournaments that I play and tournaments in general, they're different and they're subject to change. Let's say a 60K in Lancaster might not be the same as Virginia. With or without a coach, it doesn't matter, whoever it is, you can sign up for a tennis tournament. Remember, there's a qualies draw and there's a main draw. When you are in the qualies draw, your first match might be on a Saturday or Sunday, I believe. You are only able to be there the day before, 2 days before max. If you go the week before, sometimes I went to Mexico where the altitude was high, so I left a week before just to get acclimatized and used to the environment. That rate doesn't hold because you came early and you wanted to prepare. That rate is for you like 1 day before. And to be honest with you, if you just speak to the tournament director, sometimes they'll give you a blind. Don't quote me on it. You are really supposed to come a day or 2 days before your match if you're in the qualies. Now, if you're in the main draw 2 days before your match, it doesn't matter because the tournament is still in progress. Usually it's the day before the tournament starts is when you can get there. Can you arrive 2 days? Yeah, you can. Or you can arrive 3 days. It depends on you. It depends on, are you staying on the hotel site? Are you not? Are you renting an Airbnb? Are you staying with a friend? So, you know, if you're staying at the hotel site, they can give you the same rate, but they don't have to give you the same rate, if you know what I'm saying. So I would personally speak to the tournament director just to make sure I get the same rate, but it's not a guarantee. Just because you're coming for that tournament, you're going to get that rate. You see what I'm saying? Will they hook you up with someone to play a tournament? A lot of times, no. You are your own person. You are your own individuals. When I went to Thailand, they actually have a list for people who are looking for practice partners, which is really cool. And they're people in the tournament. So I guess this is for people who are shy or don't know the ropes yet. So they'll have a list for you and they'll say practice partners and phone number. So you'll put your name down and phone number. And even for doubles, which most tournaments do this now, for doubles, they would ask you like, oh, do you want to play doubles? Hey, do you have a doubles partner? If you don't, put for doubles as well, because they'll try to see if they can find you somebody for doubles. They are very proactive and they're really into the players. Typically, no, they do not reach out to anyone so that you can play. But if there is a community of tennis players, usually they'll say, oh, there's a tennis club up there if you want. I feel like you should look up how far you are from a tennis club if you don't have a player to play with, especially if you're planning to go there in a week in advance. So most of the time you will be able to get a practice, but sometimes it does get difficult. But again, you'll be fine. How do you sign up for the practices? Some places, again, this is subject to change. Some places you only can sign up for 30 minutes. Some places an hour at a time. So usually there's a men's and women's pro tournament going on at the same location. So they don't want the courts to be super packed. So I would usually do 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon. But you can't have your name all over the place, right? Because they're going to say you're trying to hog up the court. Sometimes court time at tournaments can be very difficult. But as long as you're staying on top of it, you're going to the tournament director, you're saying, when is the practice courts available? Let me sign my name. You have to prepare for your tournament. When you're signing up for practice on a tennis court, they have a practice sheet and it comes out the night before. Best case scenario, the day before, but usually it's the night before. So you'll sign up for the practice courts for the next day. You can practice 1 hour, like I said, you can practice 2 hours. However, again, you have to make sure that the tournament doesn't tell you 30 minutes at a time or an hour at a time. All of these things are little tips and tricks so that you can get court time in, because sometimes it can be a long, dirty road. Moving on to question number 2, even though that's like 5 questions in one. Does your coach ever come with you to a tournament? If not, do you know the circuit enough, been to the same place enough times that you can just call ahead and schedule time with the coach who is near the club tournament you're playing with? Many tournaments are played at a tennis club, school, resort, yes? And have you ever called a coach ahead of a tournament? This is a great question for an international, because if you're a really good international player but you haven't really traveled much to America, vice versa, if you're a really good American player and you haven't really traveled much abroad, then you wouldn't really know the ropes on how it is. For me personally, when I'm going to a tournament, I always look up what's around me all the time. I don't care if I'm staying at the resort or if I'm staying at the Airbnb. Even without me being on the circuit for a while, you can call the tournament director to sign in. You don't really call the tournament director or the people of the tournament to see about other things. Let's say there's a 25K in Tucson, Arizona. Tucson, Arizona, that's my place. Whoop, whoop, Big T, Wildcat over here. Those are places that are college towns. Tucson has University of Arizona. There's Pima Community College. Most of the time, if it's a college town, a tennis club, a tennis community, then I'll call that place and ask them, hey, can I practice on your ball machine? Or do you have a person that I can play with? I'm playing this tournament around. I'm playing the pro tournament around. That would be a great way for you to figure out if the area has any persons or people that you are able to play with. You can find different ways to make it work for you. So I don't want you to feel limited with these things just because you don't have a coach, just because you don't have the finances, just because you don't know the city. There are so many friendly people outside of where you are or outside of your face or outside of your community that you'd be really surprised. Like, I feel really secure when I'm traveling. When it's spontaneous like that, I feel like you do better in the tournament because it's almost like you're the underdog. Like, they don't know your story and you're able to thrive, and it's almost like you have another purpose. So I actually like when people don't have coaches and they're looking for a player to practice with and people are turning them down. So I would say with or without coach, you are able to make it happen. Just ask questions, ask around. Make sure you find out information before you get to the tournament around the facility and around the area, just so that you can be more comfortable with where you're traveling to and know where you're going before you end up there. Even contact people who are in the tournament. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope I answered a few questions in that loaded Q&A. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, which is the Miami Open. I haven't been as engaging as I want to be, but I will be. I will pick it up this week. This tournament in particular is so funny because there's not a lot of big boys playing this tournament, big boys and big girls. For today, I'm just going to speak about the women's tennis here. Women's Champion of 2022. Who are your picks? So right here, I have my laptop. I just have everything here today because it's just easier. A lot of people are still in the tournament. Let's look out for Pegula. Always. She's been playing really well. I mean, Iga, congratulations to you, girl. You did that thing. You did that thing. I want to shout out Naomi Osaka. She is playing and having fun and enjoying the process. I know a lot of people have mixed views about her. Kudos to her. She's doing really well in this tournament. So let's take the wins as a win. Let's shout out Coco because Coco is my girl. I hope she always takes a tournament because she's just very young and wants to do well, and she's actually a really good tennis player. Azarenka, I always want to see her do well. A generational player, which I really like. She has seen a lot of people play. She's seen a lot of different game styles, and she herself has evolved as a tennis player over the years. Collins obviously is somebody to look out for, but my predictions honestly for this tournament is it's kind of difficult because Iga's been playing real hot. A lot of times when you come out of that hotness, you just keep moving, you keep moving. That surface is really nice, and if you're kind of aggressive, it's really good. Like, it works. Some surfaces are just better for certain people's game styles. That's all I'm trying to say. My pick for the 2022 would be Iga. I'm gonna go with Iga. She's hot. I usually go with underdogs, but it's Iga for me. I'm gonna go with Iga, Naomi, and Goff. Those are my 3 picks for the Miami 2022. Now I want to talk about Emma. A lot of people are having a lot to say about Emma. Emma Raducanu, these a little bit of whispers out here saying they have feelings about this girl because she came out, won a big Grand Slam, and then she hasn't really got her bearings since then. Talk to me in the comment section. Are you noticing any patterns? Are you seeing anything? What are your thoughts? That's it. Let's see who's going to last in the Miami Open 2022. Who is going to be the champion of the Miami Open 2022? Peace.